Okay, so today we are going to be going over the Gen 4 4600 Command Center uh, using Autotrac. I'll just be giving you a basic overview of the Autotrac features within the Gen 4. I'll show you how to create an A/B line. I'll go over some of the diagnostics in Autotrac as well. So first step we want to do is we want to navigate to our guidance run page. Now there are some default run pages built into this display and you can navigate through them using these two arrows up top. And this page here is our default guidance run page. Okay, so we want to set us a new A/B line. We have some already populated in this field, but we want to create a new one. All right. So first step we want to do is select Set Track up here in the top right. Okay. And here's the new track button down here we want to select. We'll select new track. Now once you do that, it's going to bring you to your select guidance method page. We've got three options: straight track, curve track, and circle track. For this example, we're going to use straight track and the A+B method. So select that. Once you press that button, it's going to bring you to the new guidance track page where you can select track name. You can hit this little pencil here and actually name it wherever you want to. I'll leave it as track 6. And you can also select the field you want that A/B line to be saved in. And that's built in for, if you come back to that field later on, that A/B line will be saved in there. That way you can use the same track. Alright, so once we have that all configured, we'll press OK. And then we are ready to record a new track. So first button we select is Set A. Okay, it's going to tell us to at least drive 10 feet. And after that, we can select Set B at any point in time. Most guys would sit at one side of the field, press A, and then drive to the other end of the field, and then set their B. To make it easier going across the field there. So we'll go ahead and select Set B, and it populates a line out in front of us. We're not done yet though, because we have not pressed done. So once we press that, it populates our A/B lines out across the field. We are still not auto-tracking yet. Just to clarify, in this instance, it automatically turned my auto-track button on. But if it did not, it'll say Autotrac off, and you just come down here and press that button to turn it on, and then you are ready to hit the resume switch to Autotrac. And then once you press that, you are auto-tracking through the field. Now something that I want to cover is our track spacing. Okay, so we automatically had our track spacing set at 30 foot. Alright, so to be able to change that, we'll get out of Autotrac and then stop auto-tracking, turn our steer off, and then come over here and press that button there to be able to change our Autotrac. You can click inside this box and type in any amount that you want to. We'll set it at, say, 40 feet. Okay. And the cool thing about this page, it's going to show you, your gap of your track spacing, and maybe some overlap as well. If you had, a 30-foot disc on there and you wanted to set your track spacing at 29.5, it's going to show you how much overlap you have. So we'll save that, and it's going to move our lines to 40 feet apart. So something else we'll run over on this page here is our shift tracks. We could center our line right there, which we are already centered. If we wanted to shift our line to the left a little bit, I'm hitting it a lot, it's going to move our lines to the left. And then we could recenter that line. It's going to pop a line right back in the center of our tractor. We have our shift increments here we can also change. If we hit that, we can change the value, the number of inches, how far our line shifts will be. So let's put it at 12 inches. I'll press OK, and once I shift that line to the left, it's going to shift over 12 inches at a time. So there's not much to that. Also, on on this guidance run page are a couple of other options when selecting a line to Autotrac with. There's also this quick line option down here, and if we press that, we could set A there, and it's going to drop a point, and as you're driving, it's going to ask you to drive 50 feet, and then after that, it's going to automatically pop a line for you. Just a real quick A-B line where you don't have to go in there and name it and whatnot. And if so I'll press that again, I'll show you how it works. And once I do that, drop that A point, it drives 50 feet, and automatically pops those lines across there. Now there's also this swap track button I can press. So if we have a line popped across there and we want to use a different one, we can swap track, select it, and say OK, and it's going to select a new track to use. Now, most instances, this is not a good example to show you that. If we had another line going east and west versus north and south, or vice versa, we would use that option there. So something else I want you to go over is this guidance button down here. If I click that, it just brings up our Autotrac guidance application, and it's just another way to set you new A-B lines, set you new shift tracks. You can turn your steer on and off right here. Okay, and then there's also a steering sensitivity area that you can change if you feel like your tractor's not really staying straight on that line. Maybe it's assing a little bit, maybe it's slow to respond to grab that line. You can change these values here to help that. Another thing I'll take you through is if you click this little circle here with 4 pieces of the pie, it's going to take you to the Autotrac diagnostics page, which is very helpful. If you can't Autotrac, if something's not working right, maybe you missed a step somewhere in there, you can come to this button here, and it's going to tell you what the problem is. So we've got check marks here. We've done stage 1, we've done stage 2. Now stage 3 has an exclamation point. Why is that? Well, it gives you the reason right here that Autotrac steering must be on, and you can turn it on by pressing that. Then it opens up stage 4, and all we have to do is press our resume switch to be able to Autotrac. A very useful tool if you're having problems in the field auto-tracking. Okay, so now one more thing I want to show you before we end this video is if we go back here to our Autotrac guidance page, we can select this little arrow pointing up to the dot, this setup button up top. Okay, and we're on some settings as of right now. It's got some different things you can turn on and off through here, but what I really want to show you is the Autotrac steering optimization icon. It's this little steering wheel. If I press it, it brings us up to this little monitor here. It's not this I really want you to focus on, it's the steering adjustments I want you to pay attention to. This is where we can really get into some advanced Autotrac settings in the field. These are really used if the steering response rate that I showed you earlier doesn't really fix what's happening. Maybe you're pulling a better through the field and it's really pulling the tractor one way or the other, or maybe you're disking in some tougher dirt, maybe some muddier conditions. These Autotrac settings will help you get that tractor lined up on that line better consistently through the field. And what it's doing, so this one here, let's take line sensitivity tracking for example. It's going to give you some illustrations on what exactly it's doing. If you hit this plus button here, it's going to be more aggressive trying to grab that line. If you lower it down, it's going to be less aggressive trying to grab that line. So that's really, it kind of shows you how it's doing that. We've got line sensitivity heading lead, steering response rate, acquire sensitivity, and when you turn on your turn row and you hit your resume switch to acquire that line, this is the sensitivity setting to adjust if it is too slow or it's really too aggressive and jerking your tractor around trying to grab that line. You can adjust that there. So this is a good page to know, to be able to navigate to. And something else that would be helpful is this little information button up top. You click that, Okay, it's going to give you take you to some help contents, and it's going to go through every sensitivity setting that I just showed you. So for line sensitivity tracking, it's going to give you a definition for it and on what it does. And same thing for line sensitivity heading. So basically, this display will tell you what it's doing, and maybe give you a better idea on what to adjust when you're in the field. Okay, so I've given you a basic overview of Autotrac. I've showed you how to create an A-B line. I've gone over a few different methods of creating that. I've shown you some Autotrac diagnostics on here. I hope this video was helpful, and thanks for watching.